Hello YouTube, good morning. It is, I don't know, 7 where I am. It's kind of foggy and cloudy today, but it's mild, and so I thought I would do a quick video before work. This is some northern red oak that fell across my neighbor's driveway, and looks like it's been dead for at least a season, if not a little more. The sapwood is hunky and chunky. It's got mushrooms growing on it. No good, but the heartwood is very, very solid, and so this will make fine firewood. And I'm using today the Hultafors splitting axe. This is I think 3.5 pounds. Made by Brooks, I believe. This is a really light little axe. Definitely not heavy duty, but it's really good for this red oak because this red oak is pretty dreamy to split. So I'll show you some of that. Probably won't be too long today. A couple of big knots in this round. Sure I'm staying on the camera there. Kind of over. Let's adjust. There we go. Normally I like to split on a block to keep it to keep my axe out of the dirt and just provide something to for the wood to resist against, but it's all wet and I don't have any gloves and I don't feel like getting my hands wet, so I'm just going to go right at some of these on the ground. There's a really bad inclusion right here, about a 2-inch, 3-inch knot that runs the length of it. So this side is going to be difficult, but the rest of it's clear. Red oak really holds moisture even when it's dead standing. It's basically a big wooden sponge, and so while this has been dead for a year, it won't season for at least a summer, split and stacked in the sun and wind. If you tried to burn it now, it would not. At least not without a lot of hissing and complaining. And I really don't like to get it with a sapwood as punky as this is, but it's definitely worth the effort for what you get out of the hardwood. This axe is really light, and I really like the profile. It's really sharp, splits well, but it is not heavy duty. So if I got some stuff where I'm just kind of whacking through it, don't need a lot of power, this stuff, it's great. With all this weight up front, it kind of flutters in the air a little bit. When you've got a real heavy maul or something, it doesn't move as much when you swing, but these lighter axes can move, so sometimes it affects accuracy, but I still think it's a great tool. Gotta use it right. That oak can surprise you how easy it'll split when you turn the log over. And a couple inches more, and it's a little bit more difficult. All right, I'm gonna hit this one more time. Two more. think it will split that. Well, maybe. We got some rain last night, and when the wood's this wet, especially when the sapwood is soft, kind of rotty, I don't like to handle it. If your hands get wet, tool gets wet, everything gets slippery. Plus, if you have any calluses, big or small, once your hands get wet, those will rub right off. And then you got to start over. All right, we got a big knot right here on this end. So I'm gonna flip it over. Just put your knots on the bottom. Of course, there's another knot here, but let's see if I can. I guess I'll get it over here, more centralized. See that okay? Big knot down there, so I'm going to turn it 90 degrees. I'll deal with that later. So walk from the back side this way. If you start on this side, then you hit it in the middle, and you go there, you blow through it, all these end grains can hit your handle. You can see this one's been hit a few times, but most of that's glancing blows. Meaning from when it's passing through the wood versus slamming against it. Oh, the oak. It's another reason why I like to use a block. Stand up here a little better. That knotty piece. Red oak is great firewood, and this is a really pretty good forest grown specimen. Let's see if I can't find some rings, because I got this pile over here, which is out of the woods, and I've got another pile over there, which is out of a neighborhood. Same exact species of tree. I'll show you the growth difference. Probably about the same age. Sorry about the camera adjustment. So let me see if I can get a good, clean, in-grain shot of this thing. One disadvantage of half swinging is it does get stuck more. But that's okay. All right, let's see here. Cleave off the sapwood on this one as best I can. Let me show you the ring differences. this one? Okay, there's that. Now this city-grown tree, well, first, let's do it like this. Let me move my camera, see if you can see that. It's kind of neat. And adjust here a little bit. Sorry. Look at these two pieces of wood. Same species of tree, but this one, every one of those lines is a year of growth. They're real small. It had a lot of competition. It was grown in the woods. This one, same thing. Every single line is a year of growth, but these are all 3 times as big as the ones on the little piece. And none of this is old growth, because the tree that was grown in the woods was, you know, it was off piece property that had been logged in the last 100 years or so at some point. But let's see, can you see this right here? All right, lots of growth rings, really tiny ones down here. But you know, there's some 1/8 inch growth rings up in here, and then these down here are 1/16 or so. I don't know what that would be in metric. All right, so that's the forest grown. And we'll knock a chunk or two off this big piece. I'll show you the city grown. This came out of one of the old neighborhoods in town. And the house was built, I think, in the 30s or maybe the 40s. This tree's about 70 years old, so that all adds up. They probably planted it, or it was there. But you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years worth of growth, maybe. Whereas almost the same amount, you've got, you know, 20 or 30. See that? Pretty neat. As far as firewood goes, I really don't know that it makes a difference. For furniture, I know that this is the better stuff. But for firewood, I think it's pretty much the same, which would be kind of weird. You'd think that something fast growing would be worse because it wouldn't be as hard, but the part that grows the fastest on this stuff is what's called the late wood, and that's the solid wood. The spring wood, the new wood, are these little pores, and both kinds have it. But those are pretty uniform. It's that late wood, which is the harder part. So it's not like it's softer, but maybe just not as strong. There's probably been some science applied to this instead of just my common knowledge of it, but either way, it all burns good and splits good. I'm happy to have it. All right, I think that's good enough. Red oak and a Swedish splitting axe. This is one of those that you can swing all day and is better than a regular axe just because of that narrow profile. Let's split one more. gonna try not to say things like "in my opinion," because I think it cheapens the dialogue. Obviously, everything I'm saying is in my opinion, unless I say it's in somebody else's. But I do think this is better than a regular axe. It's that split and cracked to here. Now it's not split all the way. And I'm not going to split it anymore that way. I'm going to walk around it. This is obviously more important. It's up on a block. I have to bend over, but works on the ground too. Missing. Trying to be safe, not blast through and hit the mud. Sometimes you just got to do it that way, though. There you go. I could probably get another one or two out of that guy. Let me give it a shot. Oak does a pretty good job of splitting around a knot. Some woods don't, but oak's not too bad. Say it as it's wedged in there. Don't have to do this. This big chunk's gonna be a all-night burner anyway. But getting that little piece off will help it a little bit, allegedly. Sometimes it's just about the angle too. Look out. All right, impromptu. No plan for that one. Hope you liked it. I've heard some comments about the Tuatahi work axe. I will review it when I get it back. I let my brother take it home, sharpen it, because hit a bunch of gravel with it. Now it cuts paper. So when I get it back, I'll talk about that. If you want me to talk about any other kind of stuff you've seen, just comment below. All right, thanks. See ya.